on the life of the economic life of the people, and work against our physical environment, work against the livelihood of the people. Occupation, they know what sustains the people. And now, because this climate change has produced so many things in this manifestation, I said the other people speaking about some of this manifestation by way of coastal erosion, very, very prominent, speaking of extreme weather events like storms, what storms do in our society and environment, extreme weather events, excessive rainfall. And because of extreme rainfall, know what happened to our soil? Our soil lost value because of this menace. A lot of other things that can attributed to the climate change. So many things. So those things I've mentioned, which are indicators of climate change, as I said, has affected the people, affected you and affected me, and everybody within the region, and those people that are living within the region. Discover also that the children, our children, are part of the society. So whatever affects the society equally, either directly or indirectly affected. If the school building is destroyed as a result of the storms, you will affect the children. If the parents are displaced because of some of the extreme weather events, disaster, and they are forced to move out of the environment, that is exactly what affects the children. If the roof is removed, you know what it means. A child that will be studying inside a classroom and you have a storm and the roof is removed while the child is inside. You can know the psychological implication of something to a very small child that's not been grown up yet. So what I say, as you know, that at the early stage of education, this is the formative stage. And this is a stage that, when it comes to cognitive, when it comes to personality development, when it comes to social development, at that stage is very critical. Don't joke with it. So for a child to be exposed to an environment that is somehow full of nuisance, so many of uncompromising variables to affect the child negatively. And at that level, most of people say, if the foundation is destroyed, what can the rector do? If at that very early stage, a lot of negative variables come the way of the child, and you affect the child, the nearest future. But if the infrastructure is weak, the superstructure is going to be precarious and unreliable. If the infrastructure at that very stage, at the foundation stage, a child is exposed to nuisance like that, affect the child, affect his studies, affect academic performance, and a whole lot. So, as I said, in this thing, I'm not going to waste time because I was doing 20 about 1 hour and down and should reduce from our quarter so. We are going to harder go straight to the point, the issue of climate change. Please, I'm not going to waste much time, so you follow me as we go. Climate change. What is actually climate change? Climate change, as we all learn, and I've heard the speakers always speaking about the climate change. He's talking about when you know the weather, you know the climate. You said that in the primary school or secondary school, you said the weather is the atmospheric condition of a place. The way you talk about the climate, you said it's an average atmospheric condition of a place or a region. So when you talk about an average, a change in climate pattern is called a climate change. Alteration in the average atmospheric condition of a place is also described as what? Climate change. A shift in climate pattern, a shift in climate variabilities. What are these variabilities? You can speak of the rainfall, the precipitation, and change in the pattern of rainfall. If you are up to about 40 years, you will look at the pattern of rainfall we have now in this part of the globe. You know, we used to be so in those days. When I was a child, for the month of October, when we get to October, we all prepare ourselves to go into what? Dry season. But it has changed these days. Most of the time, the rainy season some years will extend to December. And most of the time, just nobody can actually predict. And it has a very serious negative implication on agriculture. When you don't know where to go in, when you don't know where your care out. So it matters a lot. A change in this climate pattern, a change in a mean average atmospheric condition of an area of a region is described as a climate change. And I want to add, I know that this climate change I'm talking about, most of the time, what is the reason for this change? A change, alteration in precipitation, rainfall, alteration in the temperature, a the pattern of temperature. I don't know why the screen is not there because I'm sure I've shown things on my even the screen be there. Give me the put something on screen. This is a sort of presentation. I cannot just do without the screen. Help me please, the media. So that so things which has to show you the variation, the variability that exists in the temperature. You see the rainfall pattern. I've given the rainfall pattern of Akwa Ibom State for a period of 20 years. For 20 years, you see the variation. Like this climate varies from year to year, from decade to decade. What you have from 1987 up to 2006, I have it on the screen. If you will project it. So when you look at it, you see the variation. The rainfall you had in 1987 is different from what you have in 1988. And what you have in 88 is different from what you have in about 96. This variation, what is the meaning? What is the cause of this variation? The distribution pattern, the amount of rainfall, the temperature, the highest temperature, the maximum temperature, and the minimum temperature, that variations in all these things. So we actually, come to terms that this thing is resistance. Climate is resistance. And sometimes he said, it comes through what are the causes of the climate change. I don't go into the main causes, so you talk to the climate change, there are some natural factors responsible for it. Natural factors responsible for it. The natural factor like orbital movement, something like volcanic eruption. I've mentioned, somebody was mentioning about the volcanic eruption. When there's a volcanic eruption, the magma is, will come out. The magma comes with so many oxygen is liberated into the atmosphere. And those oxygen show all of the factors to the climate change. Basically, what the oxygen is a factor to what we are talking, the climate change. Then there's what we call popular movement. There's what we call sunspots. Many other natural ways. Orbital movement, we are not going to say that on that because what we are. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Go to climate change and go to this one. Climate change. Move on. So you discover that. Okay. Trying to talk about this, right? Okay. You need to discover that we are not going to center on the natural cause of the climate change, but rather we speak about the other one, which is what? The man-made. Those what that come as a result of human activity, our activity, your activity, the way we do our normal way of doing things in society. This is anthropogenic type of climate change. Human-induced climate change. Anthropogenic. And whatever is, we are talking about the climate change, the impact point is that whatever we have as a change in climate pattern is a result of what? The discharge of what? The influence of what? Greenhouse what? Effects. It's a function of greenhouse effects. Climate change is a function of what? Greenhouse effects. Greenhouse effects. Climate change is a function of greenhouse effects. What are these greenhouse effects? The greenhouse effect talks about, certain things, there are certain gases. In the atmosphere we have gases, A, and the gas we have nitrogen occupied by 78% of the gas in the atmosphere. Oxygen is 23% of the atmosphere. So what happens? Just the 1% that is left, 1%, the percentage of A that is left is just what? Just the other one. From that one we have the methane gas. The methane is also the carbon dioxide. Something. Carbon dioxide is there. The nitrous oxide, N2O, nitrous oxide. I mentioned carbon dioxide CO2. I mentioned nitrous oxide, N2O. I mentioned another one described as what? Methane, CH4. Then we also mention what I may call chlorofluorocarbon. This is a compound of chlorine, fluorine, and carbon. And these are the greenhouse gases. Greenhouse what? Gases. Let me just mention greenhouse. How about the name? You know, agriculture is a place we call greenhouse. In greenhouse, we bring a certain environment to our crop. Maybe just want to establish the environment, establish the experiment, and the standard ambience may not be favorable. You may create an artificial kind of environment. You block it everywhere with glass. And in that environment, what happens? Only a little quantum of that electromagnetic wave will be out of that thing, out of the greenhouse. The greater part of it will be reserved within the greenhouse. So the concept of greenhouse here is that radiations, electromagnetic radiations will come from the sun into the earth. But as it comes into the earth, you will not go back, all of them will not go back to it because in this situation, supposed to return. But the kind of environment we find ourselves, certain things, these greenhouse gases, they go from the carbon, the nitrogen oxide, the carbon dioxide, the carbon dioxide, and the rest of them I have mentioned. We will track them. In the process of tracking them, you block them, form a blanket, and cover them, and prevent them from going back to the atmosphere. So, because of this kind of a thing that's happening, we call the word greenhouse. Greenhouse what? Effects. Let me explain greenhouse effects. Because there's no how you can talk about climate change without you know something about greenhouse effects. There's no how you can handle this kind of topic without you know something about global warming. You cannot handle this without you know something about what we call the ozone layer depletion or whatever. So this I'll touch them before we go to something else and discuss. Greenhouse effects. As you are seated here on a lot of electromagnetic waves are coming from the sun. The radiation that comes from the sun. We have the visible light. This is the light that we used to see. As the light that is responsible for photosynthesis. The other light, the other light are there. We have the ultraviolet, ABC, we have the infrared. These are the other form of light. Just point at the infrared, the ultraviolet, most of them are dangerous, especially B and C. But for this other visible light, when they come, this is the light that's so useful to us. When the light comes down to the atmosphere, you know, the atmosphere, there are two regions of the atmosphere. There's what we call the first layer, about from 17 to about 40 kilometers up. It's called the stratosphere. The stratosphere. Then the lower atmosphere, from this one to about maybe from 8 to 15 is what we call the troposphere. So we have the stratosphere and the troposphere. These are the two regions of the atmosphere we are talking. So when the electromagnetic wave, the visible light now come from the atmosphere, it will come down straight to the earth. Come down straight to the earth. When it comes to the earth, what happens with it? The head will absorb it. When the head absorbs, you know that the one that comes from the head, this visible light I'm talking about, you know, is a shock wave. A shock wave of about 0.2 to 4.0, micrometer. It will come. So when it comes to the earth as a shock wave radiation, the air will absorb it. Upon absorption of this, you know, it will not form it, metamorphose it into what we call infrared radiation. And the infrared radiation will now be about to move up. This is the long wave. So what happens is the shock wave comes in, and the air will make use of it, and return it out to the atmosphere as what? As long wave radiation. Right. You will absorb it. So when getting to the atmosphere, the lower atmosphere, these greenhouse gases will absorb. They are said to form a blanket and prevent it from being released out to the atmosphere. Rather, there's what we call radiation. You radiate. The radiation, instead of going out to the stratosphere, all 90% of it will return to the Earth's surface.